Silly butts, we back. Let's get it.
We all know Isaiah Thomas is a Pistons and an NBA legend who won 2 championships as the leader of the Bad Boys squad.
Okay.
But after his playing career was over, Thomas served in several coaching and executive roles, one of which was as the Pacers head coach after they made it to the NBA Finals in 2000, where they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately, during his tenure as their head coach, the Pacers couldn't repeat the same success and were constantly out of the playoffs after the first round. And by that time, it was evident his future with the Pacers was at risk. The great Larry Bird was the head coach of the Pacers before Thomas took over, and after taking a break, he came back and served as a president of basketball operations. Thomas recalled their encounter at his office one day and how he was trying to convince Bird to give him another chance after unsuccessful trips into the playoffs, saying he and Bird could make a great team that would finally bring success to the Pacers franchise.
After practice, I get a call from Donnie Walker. He says, I need you to come back to Indiana. I knew Larry had just gotten named president. I was pretty excited. I don't know if you remember this, but I was pretty excited that Larry was president because I thought recruiting-wise, player-wise, championship-wise, we would be able to really get players, talk to them, have them come there, me coaching, him already going to the finals. I just thought we really had it it was a good setup. And Donnie normally Isaiah, but so I walk in, he's like, I just want you to know, I had nothing to do with this.
Really?
Right? And then he turns over to Larry.
Sound like
And Larry goes, Cheesy, I really like, he always called me Cheesy, right? He goes, Cheesy, I really like you. You've done a good job here. The team is going the right direction. He goes, but I think I'm going to make a coaching change. And I said, wait, Larry, before you do that, let me just say this. I think you and I will make a great team.
Bird was a very straightforward guy, and he immediately told Thomas Rick Carlisle would take over his position as the head coach of the Pacers. Carlisle served as an assistant coach to Thomas during those years, and when Thomas asked Bird directly what was the reasoning behind his decision, Bird simply said he liked Carlisle much better than he liked Thomas.
He goes, you've done a great job. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your coaching ability or anything else. He said, I played with Rick. He's my assistant coach.
Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle. He's a good friend of mine. I'm gonna bring Rick in, but you've done nothing wrong. I say, so I'm out. He goes, yeah. I said, why? He said, well, I just like Rick better than I like you.
Obviously, Carlisle and Bird had a long history together when they were teammates with the Boston Celtics, and they remained friends after that, which wasn't the case with Thomas and Bird, who were fierce rivals in the NBA for almost a decade. Carlisle also didn't have much success with the Indiana Pacers, even though he had a good chance of actually making that extra push in the playoffs. But in 2004, Malice at the Palace happened, and the Pacers' hope and dreams of winning a championship remained just that. Thomas also said he believed he would have handled that situation much better than Carlisle.
Hold on. What happened? The Pacers and Detroit got into a fight? Is that what happened?
Of actually making that extra push in the playoffs. But in 2004, Malice at the Palace happened, and the Pacers' hope and dreams of winning a championship remained just that. Thomas also said he believed he would have handled that situation much better than Carlisle and actually utilized that team much better.
Them bad boy Pistons. I wasn't even a bad boy Pistons at the time. I think Isaiah Thomas was on the bad boy Pistons. But whatever y'all want to call that Pistons team right there, violent Pistons, boxing Pistons, whatever they was, Ben Wallace looked like he was on some BS. The way he pushed whoever that was, it looked like he pushed Reggie Miller. But yeah, that was just crazy though. That was crazy. So I guess Isaiah Thomas saying that would never have happened if he was on the coaching. If he was still coaching the Indiana Pacers at the time being. But you never know. Just because you a coach don't mean nothing, man. They must have been hot out there. And you know this because you played in an era where stuff jumped off out there on the basketball courts. On them in them basketball games all the time. So you know this, man. Like, for real. Like, that's crazy, though, man. I wasn't expecting to see that on this video. But yeah, man, he let Isaiah Thomas go because basically, you know, him and Isaiah Thomas got that history, you know what I mean? And Larry Bird is a trash talker his whole career, so he ain't hiding nothing. He always gonna be transparent on how he feel. He told you, I just like Rick Carlisle more than I like you. And we know why. That was his boy coming up. It makes sense to me. Shoot, you feel me? I mean, dang, I mean, it's messed up for Isaiah Thomas, but still though, like, they gotta go the business route, the winning route, the money route, whatever route you want to call it. But it wasn't just working out for my man Ike out there, man. That's tough, though. That's tough.
Remained just that. Thomas also said he believed he would have handled that situation much better than Carlisle and actually utilized that team much better. But as we all know, that didn't happen. And soon after, Thomas found himself in the role of president of basketball operations for the New York Knicks. Tell us in the comments, what is your favorite Larry Bird story?
Hey, y'all know me. Always coming back with another Larry Bird video. If you didn't watch my last video I just dropped, check that out too. I guess old boy didn't drop 50 points on Michael Jordan. Kind of interesting. But shout out to Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Rick Carlisle, and all the other legends that was a part of this video. Shout out to Squad Dawkins for dropping this great content. Like his video, subscribe to his channel. If you like my video, I'm just asking you to like my video. You ain't even got to subscribe. But if you do, I appreciate it. Drop some green hearts too in the comments for Larry Bird, man. Show some love. But it's your boy DtaeNoDinero, and we out. Peace. See you back. See you back. See you back. See you back.